Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm Lex.
And I'm Vera.
And it's great to be connecting today with all you C9 followers, whether you're tuning in via the business page or wherever you catch this deep dive.
Yeah, good to be here. And today we're tackling something, well, pretty high stakes, actually.
We are. This session is really tailored specifically for Australian business owners and C-level executives.
Exactly. We're looking at a really fundamental shift happening right now in mobile app development, especially for those high-growth businesses.
Right. So our mission today, essentially, is to unpack why this technology, React Native, has really moved beyond just being seen as, a cost cutter. It's actually become a core strategic imperative for executives serious about scaling, particularly in those competitive hubs, like Melbourne, for instance.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking through the sources, the data we reviewed, it's pretty clear. The old ways, the expensive traditional methods for building apps, they're becoming strategically, well, almost obsolete for businesses chasing that rapid ROI and agility.
So we want to show you where the waste typically is and, more importantly, how to fix it.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's dive into that. The pressure to have a really solid app is huge, isn't it? I mean, something like 80% of Australians are mobile first. They expect good apps.
They do. And that expectation meets this old way of building them, the traditional native approach.
Which just sounds like a massive financial drain waiting to happen.
It often is. The core problem is just pure redundant effort. It forces you down two completely separate paths.
Right. You need one language for Apple, like Swift or Objective-C.
And then another for Android, Kotlin, or Java. So you're maintaining two code bases, two design processes, often two distinct teams.
That just sounds like a management headache straight off the bat, even before we get to the costs.
It is. It's not just double the code. It's double the talent sourcing, the training, the day-to-day management.
You're basically asking your business to run two parallel software projects just to get one app out the door.
Precisely. And that overhead, it hits the finances hard. We're seeing quality apps in Australia costing anywhere from, say, AUD 30,000 up to AUD 300,000 plus. Varies a lot, obviously.
And that's just the baseline.
That's the baseline. Now, factor in Melbourne developer rates, top talent can be AUD 100, even AUD 200 per hour.
Wow.
So maintaining those separate specialized native teams, that can easily inflate your initial budget by 40, maybe even 50%.
What's the percent? That's just massive inefficiency. You're talking about diverting, potentially AUD 150,000 or more on a mid-sized project.
Exactly. Money that's just managing technical separation, not driving growth.
Yeah, that cash should be going into marketing or expansion or, actually acquiring customers, not just feeding technical debt.
And it's not just the money, it's the time cost as well. These traditional dual-track projects often take 5-6 months. Sometimes longer.
And in a digital market growing at, 10-15% a year, those delays aren't just inconvenient, they're actively costing you market share.
Definitely. Think about those key commercial windows here in Australia.
Yeah, like Melbourne's spring racing carnival for retail or the end-of-year sales push. If your app isn't ready because development is dragging.
Your competitors, the ones who are more agile, they seize that revenue. They grab that market visibility while you're still, debugging two different code bases.
Ouch. And the pain doesn't stop at launch, does it?
Not at all. Ongoing maintenance is a big one. Often 20 to 30% the initial budget every single year.
And with two platforms.
You double everything. Double the vulnerability to security risks. Double the testing cycles for OS updates. That alone can add, say, AUD 20,000 to 50,000 yearly just to keep a medium complexity app running smoothly.
It really raises a fundamental question, doesn't it? Why would any executive endure these inherently redundant processes? The focus should be ROI, scaling, speed to market.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect setup for the alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if the old way is broken, resource heavy, slow, what's the strategic lever? How do we bypass this financial and time sink?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Here's the pivot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The lever is React Native. And look, it's moved way beyond being just a budget option. It's now a strategic imperative.
Okay, so technically, what's the core advantage?
At its heart, it's quite brilliant engineering, actually. It uses a single JavaScript code base.
JavaScript, so widely available skills.
Exactly. A huge talent pool.
Yeah.
And this single code base deploys seamlessly across both iOS and Android.
Okay, but the big question executives always ask performance. If it's not pure native code, does the user experience suffer? We're talking potentially business-critical apps here.
That's the crucial point. And yeah, there was skepticism around older hybrid approaches. But the data, the sources we looked at, show modern React Native achieves near-native performance. We're talking up to 95% parity with pure native apps.
95%. Okay, is that gap ever an issue? If I'm, say, a major bank or running super high-frequency logistics where microseconds count, isn't that 5% where things could potentially fall down?
That's a fair question. For the vast majority of enterprise apps, let's say 99%, that difference is completely imperceptible to the end user.
Okay.
And critically, it's vastly outweighed by the strategic gains. Think about finding specialized Swift or Kotlin developers in Melbourne versus finding skilled JavaScript developers.
Much easier, much larger pool.
Way easier. Faster sourcing, quicker onboarding, more flexibility in your team. That accessibility, that's a massive strategic win that, frankly, dwarfs that tiny theoretical speed difference for most use cases.
Okay, that makes sense. And that explains the big market shift we're seeing.
Absolutely. That technical advantage translates directly into hard strategic wins.
So let's quantify that. The data shows React Native can cut development time by up to 50%.
Yep, 50%.
And costs by 30 to 50% compared to native. So instead of that 5 to 6 month slog, you could be launching an MVP in maybe 3 months.
Potentially, yes. Faster time to market, faster ROI.
And the adoption rates back this up.
They really do. React Native adoption here in Australia has surged. It's now powering over a third, 33% of new mobile apps.
Wow.
And it scales beautifully for enterprise needs. Going from, say, 1,000 pilot users up to 50,000 or more, it handles that kind of growth seamlessly without needing a fundamental, costly rebuild.
And it's not just for startups, right? It's robust enough for major players.
Definitely. It's powering something like 30% of the top iOS apps globally. That proves its stability in really demanding environments.
And looking ahead, say, to 2025 trends for Melbourne businesses, how does it stack up?
It's inherently aligned with where tech is going. We're talking easy integration with AI and machine learning tools.
Like TensorFlow, for example, for doing things like automated inventory forecasting or hyper-personalization.
Exactly. It's built ready for 5D capabilities, crucial for real-time applications. And it supports AR and VR enhancements much more readily.
That AR/VR stuff isn't just a gimmick anymore, is it? Especially in retail or even education.
Not at all. Imagine letting a customer virtually try on clothes or place furniture in their room using AR. That cuts down returns, boosts confidence. It's direct ROI.
We saw that case study, didn't we? The Melbourne education provider.
Yeah, that was impressive. Thanks to the stability and efficiency of their React Native app, they achieved 99.9% uptime. That speaks volumes about resilience and reliability.
Okay, so the tech itself offers huge advantages. But building on that efficiency, we need to talk about risk management. Because even the best tech can fail if the project isn't managed right.
Absolutely. This is critical. The single biggest mistake executives consistently make, skipping the discovery call, rushing straight into development.
Why does that happen? Is it just impatience to get started?
Often, yes. Or maybe a false sense of economy, trying to save time up front. But it's a massive gamble.
A mess.
The data is pretty stark. Rushing in without crystal clear alignment on requirements, user journeys, technical feasibility. It leads to something like 70% of software projects overrunning their budgets or failing outright.
70%. That's staggering. That's a liability no C-level exec should be comfortable with.
Exactly. It's rework, it's misaligned features, it's wasted effort, all because assumptions weren't nailed down up front.
So the discovery phase, that initial call, it's essentially low-cost insurance against very high-cost failure.
That's a great way to put it. It transforms those vague assumptions into an actionable, defined plan. And doing that typically reduces overall project cost by 20 to 30% just through early risk identification and precise scoping.
So let's get practical. What does C9's discovery process actually deliver? It's not some huge multi-week thing, right?
No, it's focused, typically 30 to 60 minutes.
And in that hour, what does the executive walk away with?
It's highly targeted. After maybe 5-10 minutes of prep review, we dive deep for 20-30 minutes. We ask targeted questions, not just what features, but why those features.
Understanding the business goal behind the tech.
Precisely. We use techniques like stakeholder mapping to really define the pain points, the must-haves, and align them directly with your business objectives. Then, crucially, we move to feasibility.
Checking if the tech, like React Native, is actually the right fit.
Exactly. Is React Native the optimal fit? We test the requirements against future trends, too. Does the vision need heavy 5G, AI-driven features? AR. We align it with those 2025 expectations.
And the output.
A clear summarized roadmap, often staged timelines, and a transparent risk analysis. You know exactly what the path looks like and where potential bumps might be.
So the tangible benefits are clear. Much better budget accuracy, maybe 20–30% improvement,
Yep.
and significantly fewer of those costly revision cycles developers redoing work because requirements were fuzzy, maybe cutting revisions by 40%.
That's what we typically see. It builds trust and certainty right from the start.
Which brings us neatly to another major trap. Those vague, indicative quotes.
Ah, yes, the indicative quote. A classic pitfall.
They sound appealingly simple, don't they? It'll be somewhere between X and Y. But they're based on guesswork.
Pure assumptions, often rounded to the nearest week of developer time, which is inherently inaccurate for software.
And that vagueness is why, half of all projects blow past these initial estimates?
At least half, yeah. And often by 20 to 40%, sometimes more. That indicative range of, say, AUD 100K to 150K, it can easily balloon to AUD 200K or more once the real work starts and hidden complexities emerge.
Because the initial quote didn't account for them.
Exactly. The strategic alternative is discovery-based pricing. You move away from that volatile range based on, frankly, hope.
And instead,
You get precision pricing based on detailed, agreed-upon requirements from the discovery call. It offers maximum transparency. You're investing in a defined outcome for a defined cost, at least for that specific stage.
let's contrast that. An indicative quote says, this might cost AUD 100K or maybe AUD 150K. It's a liability. It forces you to budget high or risk huge surprises.
Whereas the precise discovery-based model says, okay, based on what we've defined, the minimum viable product, MVP, with these specific features will cost exactly AUD 40,500.
Broken down by feature blocks, maybe. UI UX is X hours. Core dev is Y hours.
Exactly. Maybe UI UX is 20 hours at AUD 150 years, so that's AUD 3,000. Core dev, 200 hours, that's AUD 30,000. Testing, 50 hours, AUD 7,500. Total MVP, AUD 40,500. It's accurate, allows proper financial planning, no nasty surprises.
There was that Melbourne fintech example, wasn't there? A competitor gave them a tempting indicative quote.
Yeah, around AUD 80,000. Looked good on paper. But it was based on assumptions, completely missed some crucial high-security API integrations.
So after a proper discovery process,
After our discovery, factoring in all the necessary work, the precise staged pricing came out at AUD 92,450, calculated from 615 specific hours of defined tasks.
so higher initially, but accurate.
Higher but known. The executive knew exactly what they were paying for and what they would get. And the strategic payoff. The early MVP generated enough ROI to effectively cover the savings needed for Stage 2. It validated the precision model completely.
It mitigated the risk even with a slightly higher upfront number.
Precisely. And that staged approach, MVP first, get generating value, then enhance, is so powerful.
Like that retail client who focused just on core features for stage 1.
And saw a 25% sales increase almost immediately from that MVP.
Yeah.
They earned revenue, proved the concept, then used that revenue to fund the next phase. Smart.
Development really should be viewed as a strategic investment, shouldn't it? Where risk is managed and returns are predictable.
Absolutely. Not just a black box of unpredictable expense.
So wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway for you, the Australian executive listening right now?
It's clear React Native offers that faster development up to 50% faster and significant cost savings, 30–50% lower.
And crucially, it aligns with where technology is heading in 2025 AI, 5G, AR.
But the guaranteed path to actually achieving those benefits. It's paved with precision, risk mitigation through discovery, not costly assumptions and duplicated native effort.
Okay, let's leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Consider this. Australia's digital economy, driven by mobile apps, is projected to hit nearly AUD 177 billion by 2030. That's massive.
Huge numbers.
So the question is, how much potential market share, how much profit are you currently forfeiting, month after month, by sticking with development methods that are demonstrably 30–50% slower and 40–50% more expensive? That delay isn't just delay. It's a direct, calculated strategic cost to your business.
A powerful thought. Don't let those outdated methods hold back your competitive progress. It's time to secure your edge with strategic development insights.
We strongly encourage you to reach out to C9.
That's C9, Australia's leading custom software, apps, integration, and database developer company.
Take that first easy step towards certainty.
Book a free, completely low-commitment discovery call today. Just head to www.c9.com.au.
That's www.c9.com.au.
Gain insights tailored specifically to your business needs and goals.
And please, if you found this valuable, click that follow button. and share this deep dive with other Australian business owners and executives you know who could benefit from this knowledge.
Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.